Hi everyone and welcome to Thomas Fan UK. So today we're doing episode 51 of the Thomas and Friends toy and reviews. So I hope you enjoy the video and more videos will be coming soon. Please remember to like, subscribe and comment, and let's go with the item that we are going to review. So here we go then guys, we are going to be reviewing today on Thomas Fan UK the Railway Series 12 Happy Engines, which came out in the early 1970s. So what happened was, you got these chocolate wrappers, which were these. You would then cut the outside out, and then you would stick the wrapper to the book. So we're now going to have a look at the 12 Happy Engines, which is by Nestle. So let's have a look at the front cover first. And the back cover. Before we go into the book, we'll just have a look at the wrappers. So we'll look at one of them. So this is Toby. And then when you turn on the outside, it explains that this is one of 12 different wrappers depicting engine characters in the Nestle Railway series, published in conjunction with Reverend W. Awdry and K & Ward Limited. You can get a special new book, 12 Happy Engines, containing stories of the engines with space for the picture to be affixed, by sending in stamps together with 3 Nestle Railway Series chocolate bar wrappers. Simply cut out the picture and send to the remainder of the wrappers to, you send it to this address. It says, be sure to print your name and full address in block capitals in the space inside, and to keep the pictures safe until your book arrives. So yeah, these are really nice. I've got 11 of them so far, of the actual wrappers. I'm missing Sir Handel, but Sir Handel is in this one, but obviously I haven't got the wrappers. So the wrappers I have with me today is Daisy, Edward, Thomas and Toby. So now let's open the book. "12 Happy Engines." So it says K & Ward Limited 1970. So 12 Happy Engines. Once upon a time, a little boy called Christopher was in bed with measles. He couldn't play or look at pictures. He found it dull, so his daddy told him stories about engines. They made them up as they went along and retold them so often that they learnt them by heart. Christopher's mummy asked his daddy to write them down so that other children could enjoy them too. The first stories were about Edward and Thomas. They were so popular that the children kept asking for more, so James, who crashed into the 4th story about Thomas, had a book telling how he too became a useful engine. However, everyone liked Thomas best, so there had to be other stories about Thomas the Tank Engine. Since then, a new book every year tells the engine's adventures in the island of Sodor. You won't find this island in your atlas, but you can get a map of it from your bookshop. In addition to the Fat Controller's engines, Thomas, Henry and Toby, there are the Fin Controller's little engines such as Scarloey, Sir Handel and Duncan. Not far away, A rack railway climbs a mountain called Caldy Fell. Caldy works here. Make sure you have his picture. Bill is a funny little tank engine on a private railway at Brendan. Oh, and of course there is Bert. He and two others have their own small railway at Awdry. As you collect your pictures, you can read about the engines in this book. Lots and lots of boys and girls love doing this. We hope you have fun collecting your pictures and sticking them into the places in the following pages. So we'll start with the first one. Edward. Edward is the oldest engine on the Fat Controller's railway. He is kind too, and the others are fond of him. One day, two naughty boys made James run away. Edward rescued James, but had to be mended at the works afterwards. The other engines gave Edward a splendid welcome when he came home. The next one is Henry. Henry looks proud of himself. He has just come back from Crewe. The Fat Controller sent him there to be mended after his accident. They gave him a new shape. Before this he was always ill and couldn't pull his trains properly. Now he is ready for anything and a really useful engine. Thomas. Thomas was tired of pushing trucks and coaches about at the big station. He wanted to pull trains and see the world. He had his chance at last and sent off happily, but nearly cried with disappointment when the signalman stopped him and said he'd left all his coaches behind. Toby. Toby the tram engine works on the roadside tramway to the quarry at the end of Thomas's branch line. He has cow catchers and side plates so as not to hurt any animals straying on the line. He rings his bell loudly at level crossings. Thomas, Percy, Toby and Daisy are all great friends. Douglas. Douglas was going to be scrapped but escaped to the Fat Controller. He was painted black at first and you couldn't distinguish between him and Donald, his twin. They had great fun till the Fat Controller gave them names and numbers. Douglas still loves playing jokes, but he is a kind and useful engine too. Daisy the railcar came to help on Thomas's branch line when Thomas had an accident. She was at first fussy and lazy and gave much trouble, but when Toby chased a ball for her and they became friends. She worked hard and after that, and the Fat Controller let her stay on when Thomas returned. Scarloey. Scarloey works on the Fat Controller's railway. He is now a kind and useful engine, but when he came 100 years ago, he was conceited even though he had no cab and only 4 wheels. They wanted him to pull trucks. That made him cross, so he sulked and blew smoke at everybody. He knows better now. Sir Handel is one of the Fat Controller's engines. He is a conceited because he has the same name as the railway's owner. In the picture he is especially proud. He has just had an adventure with a steamroller. Sir Handel thought he had won. What really happened was something quite different. Duncan. Before coming to the Fat Controller's railway, Duncan had worked in a factory. He was rough and rude. He thought too that he always knew best about everything. One day part of the track needed mending. The others warned Duncan to be careful, but he took no notice. The picture shows you what had happened. Rock and roll. Next up is Bill. The letters on Bill's saddle tank show that he works for the Soda Channel Clay Company. He pulls trucks all day to the harbour and back. The picture shows Bill and his twin with a party of visitors. They are a mischievous pair and love teasing other engines. They even played a trick on Gordon. Bert runs on the small controller's railway. He works hard pulling passengers and trucks. His driver is very fond of him. One day 2 visitors came. They were both clergymen. Bert didn't like them at first and played a trick on them. He was sorry afterwards, and they are now the best of friends. And finally, Cool D. Long ago, a hermit lived in a cave. People gave his name Cool D to the mountain. When a railway was built, they named an engine Cool D too. Engines on mountain railways have to be careful. One of them had been reckless. Here is Cool D warning him not to be silly. So that is the 12 happy engines in the railway series. I hope you enjoyed this review, just showing you the book and the chocolate wrappers. I'm Thomas Fan UK, and thank you very much for watching.